Story 1. The Night Shift. This story comes from Marcus, a security guard in Ohio. I worked the night shift at a 24-hour gym for 3 months. Easy job. Just walk the perimeter every hour. Check the equipment. Make sure no one broke in. The place was always empty after midnight. Except for her. I first noticed the woman in the mirror at the back of the gym around 2 a.m. She was running on a treadmill that wasn't there. In the reflection, I could see her clearly. Blonde hair in a ponytail, blue workout clothes, running at a steady pace. But when I looked directly at the treadmill area, it was empty. I convinced myself it was just the lighting playing tricks on me. Old building, weird shadows. But every night, same time, there she was, running in the mirror. I started timing her. 2:15 a.m. to 2:45 a.m. Exactly 30 minutes. Same routine, same clothes, same pace. One night, I decided to walk directly to the mirror while she was there. As I got closer, I could see her more clearly. She was young, maybe mid-20s, and she looked desperate. Like she was running from something, not just running for exercise. That's when I noticed the date on the mirror. It was etched in small numbers in the corner. March 15th, 2019. I looked up the gym's history. On March 15th, a woman named Sarah Chun had been jogging alone in the parking lot when she was attacked and killed. The security footage showed her running inside to escape, but she never made it. The next night, I brought a chair and sat in front of the mirror during her time. When she appeared, I spoke to her. Sarah, "Are you Sarah Chun?" She stopped running. For the first time in 3 months, she looked directly at me. Her mouth moved, but no sound came out. She pointed behind me. I turned around. There was a man in dark clothes standing by the emergency exit. He'd been there every night, watching her run, waiting. They found human remains buried in the parking lot foundation. The construction crew had poured concrete over an unmarked grave. After the proper burial, Sarah never appeared in the mirror again. But sometimes, late at night, I could still hear the sound of running footsteps on a treadmill that isn't there. Story 2. The Babysitter. This one comes from Emma, a college student in Texas. I was babysitting for the Morrison family. 2 kids, ages 6 and 8. Sweet kids. Easy job. The parents left around 7 p.m., said they'd be back by midnight. Everything was normal until I put the kids to bed. As I was tucking in Lucy, the 6-year-old, she grabbed my hand. "Don't let the man in the closet come out," she whispered. I laughed it off. Kids have overactive imaginations, but as I closed her door, I heard her talking to someone. "She's nice, but you can't come out yet. Not until she leaves." I pressed my ear to the door. There was definitely another voice responding. Deep, adult, male, but it was too muffled to make out words. I opened the door quickly. Lucy was alone, facing the closet. "Who are you talking to?" "Sweetie, the man. He lives in there. He's been waiting for Mommy and Daddy to leave." I checked the closet. Just clothes and toys. But there was a strange smell. Like someone had been living in there. Stale breath and unwashed clothes. I called the parents. No answer. I called the police. "Ma'am, is there an immediate danger?" "I don't know. Maybe." They said they'd send someone, but it would be a while. Low priority. That's when I heard the closet door creak open upstairs. Heavy footsteps. Adult footsteps. Walking across the children's room. I grabbed both kids and ran to the neighbors. When the police finally arrived, they found a man living in the closet. He'd been there for weeks, coming out only when the family slept. He knew their schedules, their routines, their vulnerabilities. The Morrisons had been wondering why food kept disappearing, why they felt like someone was watching them. They never thought to check the one place no one ever looks. The closet. Story 3. The Wrong Number. This story comes from David, a college student in Oregon. I got a wrong number call at 3:47 a.m. Usually, I'd ignore it, but something made me answer. "Hello." Heavy breathing. Then, "Is this David?" "Yeah." "Who is this?" "I've been watching you." "David, I know where you live. I know you're alone." I hung up immediately. Probably just a prank call. But then my phone rang again. Same number. "You shouldn't have hung up on me, David. I don't like that." "Look, you have the wrong number. I don't know who you are. I'm outside your apartment right now. Look out your window." I lived on the 3rd floor. There was no way someone could be outside my window. But something made me look anyway. There was a man standing on the fire escape. Tall, dark clothes, phone pressed to his ear. He waved at me. I called 911, but when I looked back, he was gone. The police said there was no way someone could have gotten onto the fire escape from outside. No ladder, no access. The calls kept coming. Every night at 3:47 a.m. Sometimes he'd describe what I was wearing. Sometimes what I was eating. Sometimes he'd tell me about conversations I'd had that day. I changed my number. The calls followed me. I moved apartments. He knew my new address immediately. That's when I realized the horrible truth. I looked up the number that kept calling me. It was registered to David Martinez. My name, my address, my phone number. I was getting calls from myself, or someone pretending to be me. The calls stopped after 2 weeks. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear my own voice on the other end of the line, telling me things I never said, knowing things I never told anyone. I've never figured out who it was, but I know they're still out there, somewhere, living a life that looks exactly like mine. Story 4. The Roommate. This story comes from Rachel, a graduate student in New York. I needed a roommate to split rent on my studio apartment. Posted on Craigslist, got a response within hours. Sarah seemed perfect. Quiet, clean, paid first month up front. She moved in on a Tuesday. I barely saw her the first week. She worked nights. I worked days. Perfect arrangement. But I started noticing small things. Food missing from the fridge. My clothes slightly moved in the closet. The shower wet when I hadn't used it. I figured she was just settling in. But then I found the notebook. It was hidden under her mattress. I was looking for my missing textbook. The notebook was full of detailed observations about me. What time I woke up. What I ate for breakfast. Who I talked to on the phone. When I left. When I returned. But the entries went back months. Before she moved in. Before I even posted the ad. Tuesday, March 3rd. Rachel leaves for class at 8:15 a.m. Returns at 6:30 p.m. Eats leftover pizza. Watches Netflix until 11 p.m. Goes to bed. The entry was dated 3 months before she moved in. Before I even knew she existed. I confronted her when she came home. Sarah, we need to talk. She looked at me with these empty eyes, like she was seeing me for the first time. Who's Sarah? You. You're Sarah. My roommate. I'm not your roommate. I live here alone. She showed me the lease. Her name was on it. Her name only. The lease was dated 6 months ago. I checked my phone. No record of posting the Craigslist ad. No record of her responding. No record of any communication between us. I called the landlord. He said Rachel had moved out months ago. That Sarah Martinez had been living there alone since January. But I was Rachel. I had always been Rachel. I looked in the mirror. The reflection staring back at me was a stranger. Sarah's face. Sarah's hair. I found my notebook hidden under what I thought was my mattress. Page after page of observations about Sarah. Her schedule. Her habits. Her life. I had been watching her for months. Thinking I was her roommate. But I was never her roommate. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know whose life I'm living. But I know that somewhere, the real Rachel is wondering where her roommate Sarah went. And I know that I'm still watching. Still taking notes. Still living a life that isn't mine. Story 5. The Upload. Our final story comes from Jake, a software developer in California. I was working on a file recovery program for a client. Simple job. Recover deleted photos from a damaged hard drive. The drive came from an estate sale. Belonged to someone who died in a car accident. Most of the photos were normal family stuff. Birthdays, vacations, everyday moments. But buried in the deleted files, I found something else. Videos. Dozens of them. All taken from the same perspective. Like someone was wearing a hidden camera. The videos showed the person going about their daily life, but from an outside perspective. Like someone was following them. Recording everything. But here's the strange part. The timestamp on the videos showed they were recorded after the person died. I checked the metadata. The files were created days, weeks, even months after the car accident. But the person in the videos was definitely the same person who owned the hard drive. I watched them all. The person going to work, eating lunch, talking to friends, living a completely normal life. But they were dead. That's when I noticed something in the background of the videos. In every single one, there was a reflection in windows, mirrors, car doors, the reflection of whoever was recording. It was the same person. The dead person was somehow recording themselves living their life after death. I tried to contact the family, but they said it was impossible. The person had been there was no body, no grave, no way they could be walking around. But the videos kept appearing on the hard drive, new ones, every day. I started recognizing the locations. The coffee shop near my office, the grocery store I went to, the restaurant where I ate lunch. The dead person was following me now, recording me the same way they'd recorded themselves. I tried to delete the files, but they restored themselves. I tried to destroy the hard drive, but the videos appeared on my computer, on my phone, on every device I own. I'm uploading this from a public library computer. I don't know if it will reach you or if the videos will follow me here. But if you're watching this, check your reflections, check your windows, check your mirrors. Because somewhere, someone who shouldn't exist is recording everything you do, and they're waiting for the right moment to show you what happens after you die.